Welcome the 2021 Haliburton Highlands Sports Hall of Fame inductees and remain standing for our national anthem. Okay, Jim. Please be seated. Welcome, everyone. My name is Roger Troll, and I have the privilege of being the chair of the Hall of Fame Committee and your Master of Ceremonies for this afternoon. We are so pleased to finally be able to have our inaugural induction ceremony. It's been a long time coming. It was about 4 years ago, actually, that our honorary chair, Scotty LaRue, had the vision to celebrate excellence with a Hall of Fame in the Haliburton Highlands. He called a meeting of a group of us to see about getting us started, and here we are today. Scotty, could you please stand and be recognized? Yes, we're finally here. The world has changed a great deal over the 4 years since we started, but the goal of the Hall of Fame has remained the same: to celebrate excellence in sport in 3 areas. We are going to celebrate athletes who have worked so hard to perform at a high level in their given sport. This afternoon, we're inducting 11 amazing athletes representing a wide variety of sports. Athletes who have dedicated themselves to being the very best they can be. We're celebrating builders who had given their time and expertise in order that others might succeed. The 3 builders we're inducting this afternoon have had a very important impact on so many young people throughout the Highlands. Their contributions made such a difference in the lives of so many. We're celebrating teams that experienced incredible success. The 3 teams being recognized today excelled in their eras. They brought their communities together in excitement and with pride. You'll notice that these inductees are called our class of 2021, even though it's halfway through 2022. Historically, this is accurate, though, because they were selected in 2021, and we would have had this ceremony if it weren't for COVID during 2021. So truly, you're in the class of 2021. It's wonderful to see so many people out here to help us celebrate today. We really appreciate you being here. In addition to the inductees, we have some special guests with us today that I'd like to introduce, and I'd ask you to please hold your applause until I've gotten through my full list. And I want to start with our Federal Member of Parliament, Jamie Schmale. Jamie, thank you so much for being here today. Also, we are thrilled to have our newly re-elected Member of the Provincial Parliament, Laurie Scott, with us today. Congratulations on your incredible 6th term, I believe it is. You know, we have received so much local support for the Hall of Fame, and I'd like to welcome and thank Warden of Haliburton County, Liz Danielson. Liz, thank you. Mayor of Algonquin Highlands, Carol Moffat. Mayor of Dysart et al., Andrea Roberts. And Mayor of Minden Hills, Brent DeVolen. I'd like to add a very special thank you to Mayor Andrea Roberts and her council for their very early support as we tried to get this off the ground. So ladies and gentlemen, let's thank these representatives, all 3 levels of government, not just for being here, but for everything they do. Thank you so much for your support. Also, I'd like to say a very special thank you to Minden Subaru and Curry Chevrolet. You know, to get anything like this started, you have to have early believers in what you're trying to do. And if those early believers can be early investors as well, it really helps. And in the case of Minden Subaru and Curry Motors, they've certainly been both. Thank you so much to our founding sponsors. Today, our inductees will be recognized alphabetically. You will see a video outlining why we felt they were worthy of induction to the Hall of Fame and to be among the first group of inductees. And then we will ask them to come forward to receive an award from someone who played a special role in their careers, and in some cases in their lives, and in all cases in their lives. These beautiful mementos that we're going to be presenting were done locally by Artec Studios. We're fortunate also today to have the services of photographer Tim Toffelmeyer. Tim, where are you? Somewhere around? There's Tim. So as each inductee comes up to receive their award, Tim will get a photograph, which will be accessible to everyone on Tim's website in the coming weeks. And that's Tim Toffelmeyer, T-O-F-F-L-E-M-I-R-E, right? Right. So if you still want to take a picture, even though we have a professional here to do it, you can come up behind Brad here at the table and take your photo as the awards are presented. So as I mentioned, each induction will begin with a video, followed by the award presentation. Today, we're going to begin with Mike Bradley.
Mike Bradley's road to becoming a 2-time Grey Cup champion with Edmonton's CFL team is inspirational. With strength, speed, dedication, a big heart, and a fiercely competitive edge, he overcame the perception that he was too small for football. He led the Haliburton team to multiple league titles, setting virtually every school record, including an amazing 379-yard rushing game and a 110-yard punt return in 1995. At the University of Waterloo, Mike was starting tailback, earned league MVP, was a finalist for the Heck Creighton Award, and led the Warriors to the Yates Cup. His university football career included school records of 3,773 rushing yards and 41 touchdowns. He won first-team All-Canadian twice and was inducted into the University of Waterloo Athletic Hall of Fame. Despite these impressive accomplishments, the professional leagues were reluctant to take a chance on him. They overlooked Mike until 2002, when he was signed as a free agent by the Edmonton CFL team and given a last-minute invitation to their training camp. He excelled and soon became a fan favorite in Edmonton. In 6 years with the CFL, Mike played in 2 victorious Grey Cup games, 2003 and 2005. Overcoming a number of injuries and setbacks, Mike beat the odds at every level of his football career. He is an inspiration to young athletes who are told they will never succeed. He was especially proud to bring the Grey Cup home to Haliburton County, sharing it with friends, family, and fans.
Mike Bradley had a love for football. He made sure that he could live up to that potential of the love of football. Mike never played the second half in high school football because we were winning 40-0. I just said, Mike, you got to sit down. Well, coach, want to keep. I said, can't. We can't keep scoring. That's how good and dominant he was.
Upon retirement, Mike joined the Durham Regional Police Force. His heart is still in the Haliburton Highlands, and he continues to enjoy family time on Coshlong Lake.
Mike's award today is going to be presented by his longtime coach, Gary Broman. Great. Thanks, guys. Congratulations, Mike. Our next inductee this afternoon is Glenn Dart, and he's becoming a member of the Hall posthumously.
Glenn Dart was a local sensation as a hockey player with an impressive career that spanned 17 years. In 1934, at the age of 15, he was invited to join Haliburton's elite men's hockey team, the Haliburton Huskies. The Haliburton Arena, built in 1932, attracted big crowds for tournaments as hockey grew in popularity. These were the golden years of hockey, and Glenn was recognized as a powerhouse player throughout Ontario. Glenn played at the junior C level for the Lindsay Midgets, earning media accolades that led him to try out for a junior A team in Toronto. He made the team, but Haliburton called him home when his father needed help in the family business, Dart's Bakery. With the onset of World War II, Glenn served his country by joining the Royal Canadian Air Force. In 1941-42, Glenn played for the RCAF No. 5 ITS team from Belleville. The team contended for the OHA Intermediate B Championship. At the end of the war, Glenn played for the Moncton Maroons, a maritime senior team of the AMS League. After his discharge, Glenn returned to Haliburton, where he was a star once again for the Haliburton Huskies. Glenn coached minor hockey teams at all levels and a successful juvenile team in the years that followed. As the Haliburton Recreation Director, Glenn supported and encouraged young people, making sure to find skates and equipment for those who lacked them. After his untimely passing at the age of 31 in 1951, a group of sports-minded citizens established the Glenn Dart Memorial Trophies, a hockey tournament to honor him. The tournament is still played annually through 7 decades with few exceptions. The tournament is a fitting tribute to one of Haliburton's hockey legends. Glenn Dart is remembered throughout Haliburton County as someone who inspired the youth of the community with his guidance and positive attitude.
We're thrilled today to have Glenn's son Roger here to represent his dad. Roger is also the treasurer of the Hall of Fame and a member of this event committee. Our honorary chair, Scotty LaRue, will present Roger with his award. Our next inductee is Cody Hodgson.
Cody Hodgson learned to skate in front of his house on Lake Kashagawigamog. He was only 4 years old when he donned a Huskies jersey, just as his father and grandfather had done before him. That Tyke team boasted 2 players who would eventually play in the NHL, Cody and Matt Duchene. Cody played minor hockey with the powerhouse Markham Waxer AAA team. He was a first-round draft pick of the Brampton Battalion of the Ontario Hockey League, the OHL, where he played for 4 seasons. Highlights during this time included winning the William Hanley Trophy, the OHL's most sportsmanlike player, the Red Tilson Trophy, the OHL Player of the Year, and the CHL Player of the Year award. He also led the Canadian junior hockey team to a gold medal win. All these successes led to Cody's selection, 10th overall, in the 2008 NHL entry draft by the Vancouver Canucks. In his first 2 years as a pro, Cody played for both the Manitoba Moose of the AHL and the Vancouver Canucks. In 2012, Cody was traded to the Buffalo Sabres, notching 44 goals and 55 assists over 3 years, despite nagging injuries. In 2014, Cody was one of Canada's top scorers in the World Hockey Championship, with 6 goals in 8 games. Hodgson signed on with the Nashville Predators in 2015. He announced his retirement in 2016 after he was diagnosed with malignant hyperthermia. In Cody's trademark humble way, he summed up his playing career in this way: "I think being able to play in the NHL in any capacity is something I can look back on and be proud of." Cody's playing days were over, but he stayed on in Nashville to work with the Predators' youth hockey program. As he told the Haliburton Echo, "A lot of people made my journey possible. They helped me a lot, so I thought I'd keep it going." Cody returns often to his home on Haliburton Lake, not far from the lumber operation his great-grandfather ran over 100 years ago, and where the Hodgson clan has gathered for 4 generations.
Cody's award will be presented by his number 1 fan and number 1 memorabilia collector. She's got some of it on, as a matter of fact. His grandma, Barbara Hodgson Meg. Our next inductee, Joe Isles, will also be entering the Hall of Fame posthumously.
Joe Isles combined innate athletic ability with the skills of a natural-born leader in over 6 decades of active involvement in sports in Haliburton County. At 15, Joe was the youngest player on the senior Huskies, but by all accounts, he dominated play. At 17, he earned legendary status during the final game of the 1945 Porter Cup. In front of the largest crowd to ever watch a hockey game in Haliburton County, Joe broke a 6-6 tie, scoring the winning goal in overtime with a dazzling end-to-end rush. The resounding cheers of the crowd echo through time and remind us why the arena was central to Haliburton's culture in that golden era. A highlight of his hockey career was the chance to play in Maple Leaf Gardens as a member of the 1947 OHA Junior All-Star team. Joe was also a top-flight baseball player, a local golf champion, and a celebrated skip at the Haliburton Curling Club. In 1961, he skipped his curling team to victory, winning both the Carling and Gilliam trophies. Joe was influential as an athlete, but also in the community, holding many leadership positions. He was a founding member of the Glen Dart Hockey Tournament, president of the Haliburton Minor Hockey Association, president of the Haliburton Curling Club, and president of the Rotary Club. His most prominent public service was as a 40-year member of the Dysart et al. Volunteer Fire Department, and for many years as its chief. Joe's athletic career taught him courage, teamwork, and tenacity, characteristics he used to serve his community. His lifetime accomplishments were recognized when he was presented with the 125th Anniversary Medal of the Confederation of Canada.
Joe is represented today by his son, Joe Jr. Don Popple, Joe Sr.'s longtime business partner and friend, will be presenting the award. Our next inductee this afternoon is Marla McNall.
For more than a quarter of a century, Marla McNall excelled in every sport in which she competed. She became a champion in cross-country running, hockey, softball, track, field hockey, volleyball, basketball, curling, badminton, and road racing. Coaches praised her dedication to striving for improvement, her stamina, and her mental toughness. When Marla was growing up in Haliburton, there were no girls' hockey teams. Marla joined a boys' team, enduring many challenges. She responded the best way she knew how, by scoring goals and winning games. Her perseverance helped pave the way for equity and inclusion in sport. Haliburton Highlands Secondary School recognized Marla's accomplishments in competitive sports with a long list of MVP and Athlete of the Year awards. Her athletic schedule was grueling as she juggled practice times and tournament dates for several different teams every season. Her sheer love of competition was fueled by an uncompromising work ethic that made her into an exceptional athlete. At McMaster University, Marla narrowed her focus to 3 varsity sports. She advanced to the CIAU championships in cross-country running and track. In hockey, she was the team's MVP and leading scorer in 1987-88. During her year at Queen's University, where she earned her Bachelor of Education, she led the women's hockey team to a silver medal at the OUA Championships. Marla joined the Toronto Arrows hockey team after university. They won the Ontario Senior Women's Provincial Championships in 1990 and captured bronze medal at nationals. She also played for the Surrey Flyers in British Columbia in 1992, which won the BC Championships. With a full-time teaching career, Marla retired from competitive sports. She continued her commitment to athletics as a teacher and coach, instilling the love and passion for sport in the next generation.
Marla's award will be presented by her longtime coach and friend, Kit Pizzi. Our next inductee is Bernie Nichols.
When Bernie Nichols recounts his hockey career, he fondly remembers Tag Alder Gardens, the community rink his dad built behind the West Guilford Schoolhouse. Bernie was 4 when he joined his cousins and local kids on the ice. According to Bernie, his father George was his earliest and best coach, and his mother Marge was his biggest fan. With their full support, he left home at 16 and joined the Navy Vets, the Junior B team in Woodstock, where he won the award for League Rookie of the Year. Next, he played for the North York Rangers and the Kingston Canadians under the management of Ren Blair. His high-scoring performance paved the way to the NHL, where Bernie proved himself as a professional, scoring 32 points in 22 games for the Los Angeles Kings, and was a key contributor in the Stanley Cup playoffs. During his 7 years in L.A., Bernie became one of the most prolific scorers in the NHL and a favorite among fans. In one season, playing alongside Wayne Gretzky, Bernie notched an amazing 70 goals and 80 assists. Bernie went on to play for the New York Rangers, the Edmonton Oilers, the New Jersey Devils, the Chicago Blackhawks, and the San Jose Sharks. He retired in 1999, having played 1,127 games, scoring 475 goals and racking up 734 assists. With a nose for the net, he was one of the truly great hockey minds in the history of the sport. Although hockey took him throughout Canada and the USA, he has always remained close to his family and his community. He was honored with the West Guilford Citizen of the Year Award in 2019. Tag Alder Gardens, the rink his father built, still offers free skating to local families every winter with lights that shine on today's NHL hopefuls well after dark.
Here in Haliburton, I truly believe I don't get special treatment because I'm Bernie Nichols, a hockey player. I get special treatment because I'm George Nichols' son.
Bernie's longtime friend and fellow Tag Alder player, Craig Stamp, will be presenting Bernie with his award. Ron Stackhouse will be our next inductee.
Ron Stackhouse played hockey as a recreational sport, along with so many Haliburton County kids. It was a surprise to him when, at 16, he was encouraged to join a Junior B team in Chatham. This was a golden opportunity, but Ron missed his friends and family. He came home, finished high school, and played with the Haliburton Huskies Junior D team. It seemed like this was the end of his professional ambitions until Roger Nielsen, coach of the Peterborough Petes Junior A team, offered Ron a position. The tall 18-year-old soon led the Pete's defensemen in scoring, and he was picked up by the California Seals as a first-round NHL draft pick. From there, his impressive play as a rookie got him traded to the Detroit Red Wings. A surprise trade to the Pittsburgh Penguins in 1974 was the beginning of his most productive years when he set a number of NHL scoring records. Ron's NHL career was filled with highlights, like the time he scored a breakaway goal in the 1980 All-Star Game while playing with the legendary Gordie Howe, and the night that he set the NHL record for 6 assists in one game. But he also remembers a change in the game he loved when fans expected a brawl at every game. He preferred a thinking game, where positioning and skill were admired more than fighting. Ron became a regular coach and mentor at the Haliburton Hockey Haven. He was a role model for many young hockey players, including Bernie Nichols. After playing 889 regular season NHL games, Ron retired in 1982 and got his teaching degree. He moved back to Haliburton with his family and had a teaching career at the Haliburton Highlands Secondary School. Many local youth have benefited from his coaching and encouragement. He inspired a generation of athletes to achieve their own dreams.
Ron's award will be presented by his longtime friend, Brian Black, my golfing partner. Congratulations, Ron. Brian and Ron actually played together and won a Glen Dart Memorial Tournament here. Actually, Brian tells me that he took the very first face-off in this rink when this building was open in 1965, right here at Center Ice. Didn't tell me if he won the face-off or not, though. Our next inductee is Leslie Tashlin.
Leslie Tashlin, who grew up with a competitive spirit with 4 athletic siblings, was determined to play every sport when she enrolled at Haliburton Highlands Secondary School. Along with her twin sister Lindsay, she competed in field hockey, volleyball, badminton, and track and field. Leslie excelled on the court, in the field, and in the classroom. Leslie taught herself to hurdle in grade 9 and also led the midget girls relay team to the OFSA finals. By the time she graduated, she was an OFSA medalist in both track and field and badminton. She was the Haliburton Highlands Secondary School Athlete of the Year in 1988. Attending York University, Leslie became an All-Canadian champion, earning OUA and CIS sprint hurdles gold medals. She moved to Ottawa to train seriously in her quest to qualify for the Canadian Olympic team for the 1996 Games in Atlanta. Her perseverance paid off. She proudly represented Canada at the Olympics and 5 other international competitions. A full-time member of the Canadian track and field team for close to a decade, Leslie made the finals in 4 international events with 4th-place finishes in both the Commonwealth Games and the Pan Am Games. In the middle of her athletic career, Leslie became a mother and kept her status as a full-time world-class athlete. She continued to improve on the track, travel to competitions around the globe, and maintain her ranking among the top 3 hurdlers in Canada. Retiring from competition in 2002, Leslie continued her involvement in her sport as a Canadian track and field delegate. She traveled with teams and supported them in her role as a registered sports massage therapist. She now owns and operates a massage and sports therapy clinic and frequently works with Canada's Olympic track and field athletes. Leslie Tashlin is an inspiration to small-town girls who train on dirt tracks during blackfly season. They, too, can strive to be Olympians.
Leslie's high school coach and a great member of the Hall of Fame committee, Paul Morissette, will be presenting her with her award. Our next inductee is Anna Tomlinson.
Anna Tomlinson was known for her athletic versatility during her high school career at the Haliburton Highlands Secondary School. Growing up on Bosch Kung Lake, she was a multi-year recipient of MVP awards for volleyball and track. She also earned the Female Athlete of the Year award for 3 years running. With the support of her biggest fans, her parents, Anna poured her energy into sports, academics, and team leadership. She captained the junior and senior volleyball team to district championships, qualified at OFSA for 5 consecutive years in multiple track and field events, advanced to the Ontario Championships in badminton, and was selected as the valedictorian of her graduating class in 1995. At York University, Anna was a heptathlete, competing in the grueling 7-event heptathlon, the most demanding of all track and field events. She qualified for the OUA finals all 4 years. She also excelled as a member of the 4x200 meter relay team, which placed 4th at the CIAU Championships. At both the Ontario and Canadian University Championships, she medaled in shot put. These accomplishments at the university athletic level are extraordinary. Anna demonstrated a high-intensity work ethic and sportsmanship. She was recognized as a leader who built inclusive team morale. As the mother of 4 athletic sons, Anna continues to be a role model in every facet of her life.
Anna's award will be presented by her longtime friend, Sharon Morissette. And I think those boys have grown a little bit since that picture was taken. Our next inductee is Jake Walker.
Jake Walker began curling at the age of 8 at the Minden Curling Club. During his years at Haliburton Highlands Secondary School, he distinguished himself as the skip of the Bantam boys and junior boys winning teams at the Gore Provincial Championships. He was awarded multiple MVPs in both curling and track and field at HHSS. He was also an accomplished discus competitor and a valuable member of many local teams, including softball, lob ball, and soccer. As a team curler, Jake was a familiar face in the sports pages of local newspapers. He earned an impressive collection of medals at national events from Quebec to Calgary. In 2010, Jake played for Team Ontario at the Canadian Junior Championships. A career highlight was playing for Team Canada at the World Championships in Flims, Switzerland, taking home the bronze medal. The position of skip comes with the extra stress of calling the game and executing shots when they count. Jake's coaches always praised his ability to play well under pressure.
Jake was very cool under pressure. He was very competitive and he liked doing all the hard shots. Sometimes they worked out and sometimes they didn't, but he was willing to take it. He was a risk taker.
At the University of Waterloo, Jake earned the prestigious Athlete of the Year award in 2013. He was a first-team All-Canadian All-Star in 2014 after securing the gold medal in the OUA CIS Championships. Upon graduating as an engineer at the University of Waterloo, Jake focused on career and family and enjoys curling at a recreational level.
Jake's award will be presented by his high school coach, Tom DeBlee. Our next inductee is Tally Williams.
Tally Williams excelled in both sports and academics. Those characteristics were apparent throughout high school. Tally was an honor student who made impressive contributions in many sports through high school, including basketball, volleyball, track, and soccer. He is best remembered locally as starring quarterback for the Haliburton Highlands Secondary School's football team. With 4 athletic sisters as role models, including Olympian hurdler Leslie Tashlin, Tally continued the family legacy of high achievement. He set high jump and triple jump records at HHSS that decades later still have not been challenged. He also graduated second in his class. At the University of Waterloo, Tally joined the football program as a defensive back and safety, where he applied his intellect to read his opponent's strategies. He became an OUA All-Star for the Waterloo Warriors. Remarkably, Tally was one of 3 former Haliburton Highlands Secondary School football stars to play on the same Waterloo squad, teaming up with Alan Rodman and Darren Danilishin. Upon graduating from university in 1994 with his engineering degree in hand, Tally was signed on by the Toronto Argonauts. On one of the Argos special unit plays, Tally ran a fake punt for the team's largest rush from scrimmage, helping them to qualify for the playoffs in 1994. The following year, Williams signed with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Tally dedicated his post-football career as a civil and environmental engineer to improving water quality throughout the world. He holds multiple patents for inventions in a variety of fields. His research on the mechanics of the golf swing led to the development of a golf training tool used by 6 of the top 30 professional golfers on the PGA Tour. Tally Williams attributes his love for the environment and an early focus on education to his youth in the Highlands.
Tally's award will also be presented by his former coach, Gary Broman. Congratulations, Tally. You also win the award for coming furthest today. Tally and his family have come from California to be with us this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating these 11 athlete inductees. Before we move on to the builders category, it's my great pleasure to introduce 2 graduating student athletes from the Haliburton Highlands Secondary School. Brooke Stover and Jackson Wilson are going to share their thoughts on the importance of sport and the role models in sport. Come on up. There they are.
Good afternoon. My name is Brooke Stover, and this is Jackson Wilson. We are both graduating student athletes at Haliburton Highlands Secondary School. We would like to thank the Haliburton Highlands Sports Hall of Fame executive for the honor of speaking with you today on behalf of Haliburton County youth and sport about the value that sports play in our everyday lives. On behalf of everyone, we proudly congratulate all of our Haliburton Highlands Sports Hall of Fame inductees today. Sports play a significant role in the development of life skills in youth. Sports teach skills such as teamwork, accountability, commitment, self-confidence, responsibility, discipline, and respect. Through sports, we learn how to deal with both success and failure, and how to treat others with respect and dignity no matter who they are. Through sport, we learn how to become better leaders for ourselves and for others. I have loved sports since I could say the word. Sports have always been an important part of my life. When I started high school, I was the most excited for the athletics part of my high school experience. But before I started high school, I was terrified because I didn't know where I belonged or where I should fit in. I had played field hockey throughout the summer for 2 years with the high school team because I knew it was something I desperately wanted to become a part of. I distinctly remember my very first day of grade 9 when field hockey practice ran after school. I remember instantly falling in love with the sport, the team, and the coaches. From that moment on, finding where I belonged in the zoo that is high school was easy because I found sports. Throughout high school, I've involved myself in other sports such as volleyball, track and field, soccer, and badminton. Through these sports, I formed relationships with my teammates, coaches, referees, and even my opponents. Sports have a wonderful way of uniting people and creating a safe space. I mean, look around you. Everyone in this room is here today because we all share a common love for sports.
Good afternoon. Sports have been a part of my life since I can remember, which makes this day very special to me. I'm extremely honored to be up here in front of you and share the importance of sport to youth in our community. As representatives of Haliburton County Youth, we want to explain the importance of being a part of a team. Whether it is part of a hockey, volleyball, or track team, many students and young athletes see the sport as their life. Those who present opportunities for youth to play sports are often overlooked, but must always remember where these kids would be without sport. Sometimes we don't appreciate things until they are lost. COVID was a wake-up call for many people, including myself. I realized that the life I would be continuing without sport was one I did not want to lead. I became overwhelmed when the thought came to my mind, and my love for sport grew. I participated in more sports this year than I did during any other year and stepped outside my comfort zone. When going to practice in the morning one day, I saw an outstanding number of participant athletes out for our annual elementary school track team, at least double of that when I was enrolled. This was the first year post-COVID that this event was held. The lack of competitive sport for these kids was clearly hard on them. And when the opportunity presented itself to be back on that field, they took advantage of it. The value sport has on our Highlands community is tremendous. It was refreshing and reassuring to see the return of sport back into our community.
In a world that too often seems to try to divide people, sport unites us with a common goal to be inclusive and work as a team for success. We, your youth, need experiences of cooperative team togetherness more than ever today. All of our Hall of Fame inductees today are examples of how working together for shared common goals, we can be stronger as a community team and support one another to pursue and achieve big dreams together. We believe that every person who will now have the wonderful experience to visit our Sports Hall of Fame will learn about our proud Haliburton County sports history, culture, and love for our community. Youth for generations will come to witness the pride of what was, what is, and most importantly, what is possible and yet to happen. The odds of opportunity and success for a Haliburton County kid at times can seem steep and so far away from the small town places we live. But you, our Hall of Famers, prove it has been done, and it can be done, and will be done by others that follow your example. Thank you all for paving a path to success for all of us. A special thank you also goes out to Honorary Chairman Scotty LaRue, Chairman Roger Trull, and our Haliburton Highlands Sports Hall of Fame executive, financial sponsors and donors for having the vision and volunteering your time and dollars to make our Sports Hall of Fame possible and come to life. We know that our Hall of Famers' pathways to success have not been easy ones. The time, effort, and commitment to achieve elite sporting accomplishments is enormous. Your stories are inspiring to all Haliburton Highlanders, and we are forever proud to call you one of our very own. To achieve great sporting success takes a team of amazing people. The support from your family, friends, coaches, and community are a key part in all of your stories. We can all learn a great deal about what it takes to reach such goals from your experiences.
Today, we would like to express our appreciation on behalf of all Haliburton County athletes and teams the sacrifices of those who have provided access to sporting opportunities by volunteering their own time and giving back to build our community for the betterment of everyone. AJ Ablarue gave his volunteer time and energy to promote sports and sporting values that have directly impacted thousands of Haliburton County youth. To this very day, we honor his memory and sporting legacy in this very community center so deservingly named after him. He was instrumental in leading to build the center and understood that our Haliburton community, and in particular youth, critically need places to gather to enjoy healthy, active living through sport, but also just to have fun and celebrate together like all of us here today. The center is filled with amazing memories of joy and excitement thanks to progressive and thoughtful community leaders like Ablarue. Lenny Salvatore has spent over 30 years kindly giving back to this community by volunteer coaching, managing, and serving as an OMHA hockey representative for Haliburton. He also was instrumental in helping start our annual Glen Dart hockey tournament and coaching youth baseball. He believes in our community, and his generous contributions have allowed thousands of county youth to continue to have access and enjoy sport. Linda Brandon has dedicated decades of volunteer time towards the essential ideal that all sports be inclusive, equitable, and accessible for everyone to enjoy. Sports for everyone with no exception. As a founder, head coach, and manager of our Ontario Special Olympics Red Wolves youth bowling team, Lynn has provided opportunities for Haliburton County's Special Olympian athletes to travel and compete on a national level. You're an inspiration to us all, Linda, in making a difference for positive community social change through sport.
Lenny, and Linda, all of us thank you in so honorably representing the best in all volunteers that have made sport possible by dedicating their time, passion, and love of community through sport. None of the sport accolades we celebrate today would be possible without the support of our coaches, officials, managers, trainers, executive, sponsors, and so many more. In closing, we would like to thank the Haliburton Highlands Sports Hall of Fame for the honor to speak with you today. Again, we proudly congratulate all of our inductees. All of you inspire us to know that our small town hopes and dreams can come true through talent, support, and hard work. You also inspire us to get involved in our communities and volunteer to support the future of sport in Haliburton Highlands. Your great sports legacy is now forever enshrined as a true reminder to always follow your goals and never give up on your dreams. We thank all of our Hall of Fame inductees for all you have done for Haliburton Highlands sports. Enjoy today's celebration, and we wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you so much, Brooke and Jackson. It always makes me feel a lot better about the future when you have the opportunity to hear young people speak. Brooke is hoping to get into veterinary school, and Jackson wants to be an engineer, so Jake and Tally, maybe you could spend some time with him later. Moving on to the builder category, we're going to recognize 3 individuals who have made so many outstanding contributions to sport through their volunteerism and their dedication to youth. Our first inductee to the builder category is Linda Brandon.
Linda Brandon worked tirelessly for many years to ensure that young people of all athletic abilities could benefit from inclusion on sports teams. Equity, respect, acceptance, and dignity were the goals when Linda founded the Red Wolves bowling team in 1997, bringing the Youth Special Olympics to Haliburton County. During her time with the organization, she coached and mentored many athletes and recruited dedicated community coaches and volunteers. Obtaining her Level 2 National Coaching Certification through Special Olympics Ontario, she ran weekly practices and organized seasonal tournaments. Linda was a coach at the provincial level for the 2004 Provincial Games, where her team achieved gold medal standing. One of her athletes, Carrie Krigo, was selected to compete at the 2006 National Games in Brandon, Manitoba, and brought home a bronze medal. Linda raised awareness for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities by participating in events such as the Ontario Law Enforcement Torch Run. She built partnerships with community organizations, started high school inclusion programs, and organized local competitions. Because of Linda's efforts in bringing youth Special Olympics to the area, Haliburton County now has Special Olympics teams in curling, golf, shuffleboard, and softball. Her community spirit focuses on empowerment, diversity, and excellence, and sets an example on how to achieve them. She organized the Terry Fox Run and arranged for Darrell Fox to come to Minden to promote the 20th anniversary of the run, which energized the entire county. But she also helps students with intellectual disabilities get outside and stay active by inviting them to join her own children for swimming and skating. Whether in her role as an educational assistant, a Special Olympics coach, or a friend, Linda modeled ways to create inclusive communities with open hearts and minds. She built a foundation of sport in Haliburton County for athletes of all abilities.
Linda's award will be presented by longtime colleague and friend Peter Forgrave. Our next inductee to the Builder category is posthumous recognition of A.J. LaRue.
The name A.J. LaRue has a prominent place on the arena in the village of Haliburton to commemorate the extraordinary community leadership of a man who devoted himself to the youth of the community over many decades. A.J. was a member of the Haliburton County School Board, a scout leader, and a softball league organizer. But it was through his dedication to hockey that A.J. had the biggest impact. Over 40 years, he promoted sports and sporting values that directly impacted thousands of Haliburton County youth. In the 1940s and 50s, A.J. immersed himself in the operation of Haliburton minor hockey, serving as coach, manager, and transportation provider. He spearheaded the creation of a new arena and community center to replace the old natural ice rink, serving as the chair of the Dysart Park Board. The building project was ambitious for a small town, but A.J. led the fundraising effort, and the center was completed in 1965. Over the years, it has been a focal point of community events, figure skating competitions, hockey tournaments, and even an NHL exhibition game. With the new arena completed, A.J. lobbied the Ontario Hockey Association to grant Haliburton a Junior D franchise that would compete in the Central Ontario League. The Haliburton Huskies, the future Ontario Junior OHA Provincial Championship team, was born. As the team owner, A.J. also provided bus transportation. He had a dedicated assistant in his son, Scotty LaRue, who returned to Haliburton after playing professional hockey in Europe. Together, they built a team with a strong core of local young players who captured the hearts of the entire town. The arena was full to capacity when the Junior D Huskies won the legendary 1971 championship. Throughout his life, A.J. LaRue made contributions to local organizations and community development. He believed in the value of sport to build character, and he offered many levels of support and guidance to the youth of Haliburton County.
Representing A.J. LaRue today will be his son, Scotty, and it will be my pleasure to present Scotty with the award. Congratulations, Scotty, and to all of the LaRue family. That's capital L, small a, capital R, right? LaRue. Yeah, Scotty and I love getting our picture taken together, sort of the long and short of it. The final inductee to the Builders category today is our good friend Lenny Salvatore.
Lenny Salvatore invested a lifetime of involvement into the sports culture of Haliburton County. From his early days as an athlete in the 1930s and 40s to his legendary success as a 90-year-old golfer, Lenny has been a player, a supporter, an organizer, a promoter, and a fan of local sports. While still in high school, Lenny became a school bus driver for LaRue Bus Lines and started coaching youth hockey and baseball. After graduating, he was hired as manager of the arena, a job with extra responsibilities like coaching and managing minor hockey teams. Even after Lenny started his career with Curry Motors, where he eventually became co-owner, he continued to be an active volunteer with the town's youth. As a Wolf Cub pack leader, Lenny introduced his love of the outdoors to hundreds of boys through the scouting movement. He served as an elected trustee of the Haliburton County Board of Education for 32 years, where he was admired for asking tough questions and basing decisions on his commitment to put kids first. Lenny was a founding member and longtime organizer of the Glendart Hockey Tournament. He enjoyed the excitement generated by friendly competition among the towns and villages of Haliburton County. He coached, managed, and served on the minor hockey executive. He acted as Haliburton's OMHA representative and became known for his skills at resolving disputes and challenges among the teams. In all, he had more than 50 years of involvement in minor hockey.
As loud and gruff as he was at times about this, that, and the next thing, Lenny always met people in the middle. And that's what made him such a steward of sports and kids and community.
Since his early days as an advocate for the benefits of sport, Lenny Salvatore has always been a team player. No person is bigger than the game, he reminds us.
Lenny's longtime business partner and good friend Don Popple is going to present Lenny with his award today. Okay, Don, look at the camera here. All right. As it sort of referenced in the video, Lenny could have also been inducted as a golfer. At 90, he was still regularly winning our twice-a-week golf league organized by Gary Broman. In fact, Gary's back there. Gary, I suspect if we were to check Lenny's pockets today, we might find a couple of our fivers in there still. What do you think? Yeah. Now it's time to recognize the three teams that will be inducted. But before we do that, let's recognize again our three builders. The first team to be inducted this afternoon is the 1934 Haliburton Huskies.
The 1934 Haliburton Huskies hockey team was the team to beat in Ontario, and the new Haliburton Arena with natural ice became the heartbeat of the town. The Huskies won a record-breaking 7 tournaments, developing legendary status as they traveled around rural Ontario to towns like Fenland Falls, Lindsay, Kinmount, Burnt River, and Omemee. Under the management of George Woods and Grenville Dart, the Huskies were the rock stars of their generation. Fans jammed the arena for local games and traveled by special trains to watch them when they played out of town. In the grim years of the Great Depression, hockey generated enthusiasm, lifted spirits, and boosted community pride. In the years before organized hockey, towns and villages hosted tournaments with the winner taking home a trophy. The iconic photograph of the 1934 Huskies posing in their uniforms in front of the new arena shows a surprising lack of protective equipment. No helmets or pads for these young heroes of the rink. Lined up in front of them are 7 trophies, making Haliburton the undisputed champion of the year's tournament circuit. In this photo, we see in the back row George Woods, Grenville Dart, Babe Austin, Earl Austin, Lyle Lucas, Harold Dean, Glenn Dart, Berkeley Fair, W.R. Curry. In the front row, Gordon Watt, Dick Logan, Oswald Glidden, Ron Curry, Don Dart. And in the front, 7 trophies: Durant, Bert Porter, Hughes, Felt, Renfrew, Carew, and the name of one trophy is not known. The players were famous, their names still celebrated in local history books and familiar to this day. Many of their descendants still call Haliburton home. Well loved and memorialized in a poem by Burley Wallace, their legacy lives on. Curry, Logan for the defense. Ozzie Glidden guards the twine. Lucas, Isles, and Dean are forwards. Dart, Watt, Austin, subbing line. Hockey cups are here in plenty. Looking at them, it would seem there's a cup of some description for each member of the team. The success of this elite team established Haliburton as a hockey town.
We are really excited this afternoon to have Sheila Popple and Bill Glidden here representing their dads who both played for this great team. Come on up. So Sheila's dad, Ron Curry, was a great star on the team, and Bill's dad, Ozzie, was the goalie. We all know you need to have a great goalie to have a great team. Roger Dart will present the award. Roger's dad was the youngest member of that great 1934 team. Good call. Okay. The next team to be inducted actually represents a couple of years in the history of the Minden Monarchs. They were dominant from 1956 to 58.
The Minden Monarchs were the dominant men's hockey team in Haliburton County in the 1950s, winning the Central Ontario Intermediate C-League Championship 3 years in a row, 1956, 1957, and 1958. In the same seasons, they were the Eastern Ontario champions and the Ontario Intermediate C finalists. The village of Minden supported the Monarchs with great enthusiasm, and the Minden Community Centre was jammed with fans every Saturday night to cheer for their local heroes. Leading the team to consecutive championships were Doug Powell, playing coach, Mark Vasey, and Garnet Lytle, the team managers, Bernie Trepanier, secretary-treasurer, and Willis Walker, trainer and equipment manager. On February 24th, 1955, the Haliburton Echo reported that the Monarchs trounced the Lakeshore Saints 13-2. A crowd of over 375 hockey fans paid their way into the arena to see Minden overwhelm the Toronto team. Goal scorers were Gary, Glenn, and Hugh Vasey, Richardson, Farrell, Wheeler, Rogers, and Lougheed. Other players credited with the win were Watt and Struthers. The 1956-57 team included players Stan Lonsbury, Glenn Vasey, Don Campbell, Bob Beanie in goal, Eston Watt, captain, Norm Whitney, Larry Lougheed, Jerry Gartland, also in goal, Max Richardson, Gary Vasey, Hugh Vasey, Doug Powell playing coach, Len Lonsbury. Other key players during their 3-year championship run included Claude Brown, Staff Yearwood, Lawrence Yearwood, Marcel Pierre, and Neil Burke. A powerhouse of a team offensively and defensively, the Minden Monarchs ruled the rink in the 1950s. Teams from Cannington, Little Britain, Bobcaygeon, Coboconk, Haliburton, and other Central Ontario hockey clubs knew they were the team to beat.
Well, this afternoon we're absolutely thrilled to have one of those team members here to receive the award on behalf of his teammates. Bob Beanie, the goalie. Bob, it's great to have you here, and the mayor of Minden Hills, Brent DeVolen, a longtime friend of the Beanie family, will present Bob with his award. Yeah, we were thrilled when we found Bob. It took us a while, well, but we found him. We're also thrilled to have a large contingent of Monarch supporters in the crowd today. Lots of the Vasey clan are here. Yay. That includes Jean Egan. Her husband Gary was one of the great players for those teams, as you heard. Jean, it's wonderful to have you here today. In fact, many Vaseys played and or coached the Monarchs over their very rich history. We appreciate you being here. And Ted Vasey is also here too. And I wanted to say, Ted, I apologize. We neglected to put your name as a sponsor for this video, which was wonderful. We appreciate it very much. It should have been in the program. It's not. But we thank you for that. Our final inductees this year are the 1971 Haliburton Huskies.
The Haliburton Junior D Huskies, under the leadership of Coach George Nichols, manager Scotty LaRue, trainers Bob Nickel and Curry Pork Whitaker, and owner A.J. LaRue, dispelled concerns that they couldn't be competitive against larger communities. The first junior Husky team in 1965 were known as a scrappy bunch, but over the next 5 years, the team evolved. A new facility with artificial ice, extended practice opportunities, and NHL players who were visiting Haliburton Hockey Haven taught young players a fast skating style that became the Huskies' strength. The 1969-70 Huskies team came agonizingly close to winning the OHA Cup, losing in the final series to Norwich. Team manager Scotty LaRue was determined to build on that momentum as he recruited a lineup of skilled players for the next season. The members of the 1970-71 Junior D Huskies team soon became household names in Haliburton. Captains Bob Woodcock and assistant captains Craig Stamp and Jerry McElwain were backed by a team with enough depth and stamina to become Central Ontario League champions, playoff Junior D champions, and Eastern Ontario Junior D champions. Then they went on to secure the coveted OHA Cup. The village of Haliburton cleared its calendar to cheer for the Huskies during the playoffs. It was an evenly matched series, with wins going back and forth between the Huskies and the Exeter Hawks, right up to the winner-take-all finale. A crowd of 1,600 fans packed the Haliburton Community Centre. From the rookies to the star players, the Huskies played their hearts out. Exeter nearly forced the game into overtime with a power play advantage late in the game, but the Huskies maintained their slim lead and triumphed with a 6-5 win. Local newspapers reported that the crowd jumped on the ice in a scene that was pure pandemonium. The thrilling victory was celebrated late into the night. The municipality declared Saturday, June 12, 1971, Huskies Day. Crowds lined the main street of Haliburton and cheered as a line of convertibles drove by, carrying the players and their trophies.
We're absolutely thrilled to have so many of the players here with us today, and presenting the awards to the players on behalf of their dads will be Bernie Nichols, whose dad was the coach of that great team, and Scotty LaRue, whose dad was the owner along with him. I'm going to introduce each player who is here today, and they'll proceed over to the table that you see there with the awards. I'd ask you to hold your applause until I've introduced all of them. Then we'll get a group photo while they're all there. So Bernie, if you wouldn't mind going over, and Scotty. So I'm going to begin with Jim Cowan. Roger Bain. Jeff Campbell. Dan Carpentier. Spelled T-I-E-R at the end, right? Yeah. Lou Dummett. Rick Dunsford. Bev Hicks. Bev and I watched the first step on the moon together in 1969 at Camp Wanakita, didn't we, Bev? On his tiny little black and white TV. Yeah. Larry Laporte. Jerry McElwain. Says here the king. John Parrish. Sorry. John Parrish. Susan Sheffy, representing her late husband, Gord. Craig Stamp. Daryl Stamp. John Wilson. Amy Nolan, representing her dad, Rick, who sadly is homesick. And Nathan Woodcock, representing his dad and team captain, the late Bob Woodcock. And of course, we're so sorry that our good friend Jamie Carroll isn't able to be with us here today, as he's at home working hard to recover from his stroke. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1971 Huskies. While the Huskies are getting seated, I'll just remind you again about Tim Toffelmeyer. That's Tofflemire. Tim's Facebook page. You can find Tim's Facebook page and arrange to get copies of the photos that he took today. Or if you're not on Facebook, you can contact me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our inductions. Let's have a round of applause for all of our 2021 inductees. You're getting a standing ovation. You guys wouldn't be able to see that, but it was a standing ovation. And a long one, too. To conclude, I'd like to say a couple of thank yous, and I want to start with Brad Brown of Upside Brown, along with, hey Brad, stand up, Brad, and be recognized. And I also want to thank Jim Blake, who I know is here somewhere. Jim and Brad worked tirelessly to bring to you today these videos, which were amazing, don't you think? The other thing I want to do is thank the arena staff. I don't think many of them are here, but if they are, and we've thanked them many times, but they certainly deserve it. They've been unbelievable help to us organizing this event, helping us build the hall upstairs. Let's give those guys a round of applause. So in addition to our founding sponsors, Curry Chevrolet and Minden Subaru, I also want to say a very special thank you to all of our founding donors. The community financial support for the creation of this Hall of Fame and this event has been unbelievable. Please take a moment after we're done and say thank you to anyone you see wearing a pale, that's a dark green, you can say thank you to those people too, but the pale green name tags are donors who have made this possible, and we appreciate that very much. Let's give them a round of applause. And in the spirit of that support, we want to keep this hall going on forever. So you'll notice a couple of locations where we'll be asking you to consider a financial contribution on your way out or over at the hall. Thank you in advance for your support. Well, this concludes the formal part of our event. I encourage you to stick around, renew old friendships, get autographs, go upstairs and see the new Hall of Fame. Thank you all very much for attending today, and congratulations again to all the inductees.